Me too. I've got to get this Dr. Pepper out of the super secret.
Caffeine, 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 caffeine. I don't know the rest of the words to that song.
Hello, and welcome to The Experience. It's me, Snafu, and my brother Spicy, and we're going to talk about EDC today.
Indeed we are. And honestly, you should keep that thing on you. Maybe for close encounters.
I heard that.
Maybe because we live in a world that it's not the same one we grew up in. You know, wax and poetic aside, it is important to have the things that you will need on your person, and you're not probably going to have time to go get them when you really need them.
I mean, they say stay strapped or something.
Yeah.
Or you could be living in that Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Fools, you know not what you do.
You never know.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one. That's a throwback. Sure. Oh gosh. All right. So what do you feel like is the first thing you're looking at, or like the kind of the centerpiece as far as your EDC goes?
So for me, it would start with my belt.
Yep.
And I'm wearing a Trayvax Cinch simply because the belt's amazing. But the buckle is made out of all titanium, which some metals gives me a chemical reaction. So the titanium does it.
Absolutely. I have a Core Essentials belt. It's my second one. The first one lasted for about 3 years till one of the pins fell out and the belt started to kind of hinge and hang on for dear life. And it's great. I love that it is nice and sturdy and you can carry a lot of stuff on your person, which we will be talking about. And in all reality, the way that the attachment system works is superior to pretty much any whole
It was at this moment that he knew.
Any of the belts that you put the hole with the little thing.
Yeah, the eyelet and hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stretch out.
Forbid my hand gestures.
It happens. Me personally, if Core made a buckle out of all titanium, that's what I would wear. I prefer the Core belt because of the structure inside of it. I wore one for a long time, and as soon as it touched my skin, it started to burn me. So I have to wear a less rigid belt, which I don't like. It hurts my lower back.
Yeah.
But I prefer the Core belt. And hint, hint, if Core would make a titanium buckle, I would buy it for $200. I don't care. But the Trayvax belt's been amazing so far.
And that's the thing. It's kind of catering to a more specific individual need, which is a good thing, right? You should be catering your EDC to yourself, whether it's your body type, stuff going on with your skin, personal preference on things maybe you need more where you live. If you live in Alaska, you should probably be carrying more stuff than us tropical folks down here in Texas are carrying.
Right, and every full-grown man should have a belt on when he leaves his house.
There are some folks in the workout shorts department that are, carrying with like belly bands or ulti clips into those workout pants or whatever they're rocking. I totally support them still carrying a firearm and finding a way to do that, but in all reality, I believe a belt is the right way. A good belt is the right way to support your carry setup. All right, so on this Cinch belt, what exactly is rolling around touching your soft parts inside on that belt?
So close to the 2 meat and veg, we're running the Shadow Systems MR920 in a quick violent over discreet holster. I do intend on changing these over to metal because plastic can fail or snap over the belt. I ordered one with this sick Rhodesian camo because, camo.
Hey, Brew.
And then next to that, I'm running a magazine carrier, which I just started doing, which already has the metal clip. Thanks to Spicy's advice. He got this for me for Christmas.
I did.
Which, bros don't let bros roll without a spare mag, apparently.
Yep. So that's a tier 1 MSP Pro. I might be giving the name wrong. I'll put it up on screen, but I got mine originally when I ordered my MSP Pro holster from them. And honestly, it's a great little waistband carrier. You can cinch it down. Obviously, there's different sizes depending on what you're carrying, magazines capacity and, shape and all that. But it has been a nice way to be able to kind of cant my mag a little bit and make it more comfortable in waistband. All right, after the mag, what else you got on that belt?
So on my belt, that's pretty much it on my belt. But in my pockets, I do carry a standalone flashlight. Sometimes you need light, but you don't need to point your gun at someone.
Indeed.
So this is the Stiletto Pro by Surefire. I really like it so far. There's some features on it I don't know how to use, like locking it. I don't know how to lock it, but it hasn't fired in my pocket yet. So the battery lasts really long, high lumens, reliable, waterproof. I've carried it now for 3 years. It's good light. Then in my other pocket, I carry a simple pocket knife. You don't have to get fancy, expensive with your knives.
Yep.
This one is just a spring-assisted Benchmade. I enjoy it. Then you got to have a multi-tool. You never know what you're going to have to work on. This is the multi-tool Leatherman Skeletool CX. I like it. It's got replaceable tips for your flat tips, Phillips heads. This one's got a little bit of a scorch mark on it because, fire's hot. And then I carry just a 9-line Medevac single fold wallet with a money clip in it in my front pocket. Guys, don't be putting your wallet in your back pocket. You're going to mess your back up.
I'm a back pocket wallet dirty person, but it's not a bad generic wallet. Looks good. I mean, branding aside, it's a wallet.
That one came from BattleBox when I had a BattleBox subscription. I've been carrying it since.
And there's a lot of people getting into Hypalon and the RFID wallets and stuff like that. I'm not a super tech-oriented person, so...
Trayvax makes a good wallet as well.
Okay.
That's going to be my next one I want to try out. And then to keep me from getting easily irritated, I carry a can of Zen. And then all the way down to my ankle, I carry a basic first aid kit, which if you're interested in what's in the first aid kits, we will be doing a segment just on first aid EDC kits and along with our war belts and other types of equipment we use and carry.
Yep.
So we're not going to go into a lot of detail. This one was made by some amazing people and everything is tried and true, tested, high quality equipment.
Who made that cool ankle rig, Brian?
So this one is made by Refuge Medical. And if you're seriously interested in hearing more about it, check the other video. This is light. It's comfortable. We'll go into detail about that later.
I've been using these for a little bit, and I think we both might be switching. Brian's already started that trend. I'm probably going to follow it.
Yeah. So stretching your pants over it can become problematic. That's why I switched to the Refuge one because you got more room for activities down there on your ankle.
The elasticity of it as well is super amazing. We're going to get into all this in a separate video because we want to talk about the ankle kits as probably the most ideal way to carry an adequate amount of stuff on your person, right? The minimum. Cool.
So that's pretty much what I have on my person all the time. So what are you rocking over there?
Well, usually a coffee cup of some sort. Maybe it's a travel mug, something like that. I don't consider it in my EDC, but it does qualify as a mission critical item, we'll say.
Bro, you need coffee in the morning, dog.
Yeah, I'm not a friendly human, unfortunately, without it. I'm trying to get there, but you know what I mean? Coffee's the best way I have found to maintain my happiness early in the morning, regardless. So for me, starting on the belt, we kind of touched on this earlier. I'm carrying a core belt. It's great. It's super adjustable. It's not like the traditional belts where you're stuck in between adjustment points and you just kind of have to accept what's happening on your belt. Not ideal for supporting weight, right? So I am a basic bitch and I enjoy Glockerationally as much as possible.
So LARPing.
So I like my Glock 19. It's the same gun I shoot for IDPA. Sometimes I'll shoot a 34, but 9 times out of 10, it's this clapped out Toyota Camry that I am rolling.
But bro, does that take Glock mags?
It does indeed take Glock mags, if you're familiar with that joke.
Them Glockazines.
I can't help it. It's just how we are. So there is a Glockazine in here. It's got 124 grain HSTs in there. It's kind of what I like to go with most of the time. There's an SRO on there. Again, red dot, your mileage may vary. If you want to shoot irons, cool. If you want to shoot red dot, cool. If your price range is not for an SRO, there's plenty of good options out there. Holosun is one of the ones that I've seen quite a bit of use. Duty cam footage, you name it. There's a lot of people rocking a Holosun. Again, find what works for your budget. Don't just accept that you're never going to be able to have it. Figure out a way. You got this. So it's a tier 1 concealment Xiphos holster, I think. It's the one with the X. It's not bad. I really like that it has the wing on there, which is kind of standard. Most of your better holster companies, just it is what it is. Some holsters are not made equally, we'll put it that way. So I got those discreet carry concepts clips. I'll put it up on screen. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I got it from Tier 1 Concealment, so they have a cool little T1C and lasered on there, but the metal clips are nice. Brian talked about plastic clips. A lot of companies are picking a lot better hardware these days. So the plastic clips that I bought 10 years ago on a holster are not entirely the same ones quality-wise, construction-wise. The material they're using they've gotten a lot better, right? It's kind of like magazine technology.
Yeah, and that's a high quality spring steel too. So
Yeah.
so they're gonna retain.
You have to really want to take it off. It does not come off. I definitely have had some times where my holster has come out with my gun. A lot of people, if you go to a class and you get that many reps in a day, you're going to find out what's going on with your holster. But again, do some dry fire at home and you could probably learn some of those lessons.
Yeah, do some basic agility stuff too, and you're gonna find out if your clips are worth the shit.
Yep. The Frogman dude we've trained with a lot in a previous life or an alternative life likes to talk about box jump burpee as far as the test of the retention on your holster. So basically do a box jump up onto a box or something that's a couple feet high, test the vertical retention, and then do a burpee and see what happens with your firearm. If it is on the floor, like I had happen with a hybrid something breed holster at some point in a previous life, get good clips, get good holsters. Don't cheap out on life-saving equipment.
Absolutely not.
All right, off the soapbox. It's a cool holster. It's got some bendy stuff and some shock cord that helps make it a little more comfortable. So next to that, like we talked about, got a mag carrier, also tier 1 concealment. They make good stuff. They got some cool drills out there as well. I love the cold start. It is humbling sometimes. Again,
It helps you stay honest.
good drills if you're trying to get some paper to keep you honest sort of thing instead of shooting all your steel. Recommend it. All right, next to that thing in my pile of goodies over here, I like to wear a knife in waistband. I like to wear a fixed blade knife in particular in waistband. Craig Douglas from Shivworks, super knowledgeable dude. Go check their content out talking about why it's good to have something small in waistband as far as shifting your hips and being able to get it when there are hands on you. It's not super big, so it's easier to conceal. It doesn't require a huge draw stroke to get it out of there versus like some longer knives. The clinch pick is something I've been kind of wanting to get into. Again, Shivworks. But I've had this K-Bar TDI for a long time. It's even got rust on it. It probably needs to be sharpened, but I don't ever use it because it's got a singular purpose. Winky face.
It makes distance.
So that's what's on my belt. Your mileage may vary, but I don't mean a lot of people that are professionals as far as firearms training go that are not encouraging you to at least carry a spare magazine. Magazines are a big part of failures when it comes to firearms. They are expendable items. They wear out over time. Stuff happens. So in addition to the belt stuff, I do have some medical components in my EDC. I probably carry more medical stuff than most people. I'm a weirdo, admitted. I don't wear jeans very often, so I usually like to have cargo pants with 2 pockets on them. They're kind of non-discreet, less of the classic dad cargo pants, a little more modern. But either way, they're cargo pants. So today I'm carrying pants that have 1 pocket on the legs and not 2, so I have 1 less tourniquet. But I'm always going to be carrying at least 1 tourniquet. Gen 7 Cat Tee is my preferred flavor because it's easier to put on yourself than a soft tee, and it's easy to put on somebody else. Soft tee's great for applying to other people. I know you got one on your ankle rig.
Yes.
Personally, we're not going to go into all the components a ton, but I want to kind of touch on this. Tourniquet selection matters. Again, carrying F and tourniquet. Some guy I know he likes to say that. All right, so 1 to 2 of those. There's my other one with all the lint on it, so you could probably figure out I did carry it at least once. You know, we gotta pretend for the internet, right? So in addition to that, I like to have some kind of small kit on my person. I had one from Snake Staff Systems for a while. It was nice and small in that sense, but it did have a little less capability than this one. This is the SLIK kit from Refuge Medical. We'll probably do a video on it at some point because I really like the fact that it's more or less a complete solution minus one of these. So it's got full-size chest seals in there. That's another reason I like this better than the other one. It's got a full-size halo versus a compact hyphen. That doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into all that stuff in a separate video. But for now, Refuge Medical SLIK kit in the other cargo pocket.
That's also good if something happens and he needs to toss someone a first aid kit or a stop bleed kit. He's got one.
There's one in my wife's purse.
Nothing
too.
wrong with that.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with it.
It is just right size. So in that same pocket, there's probably one of these guys. Also like Brian, I'm just friendlier when I have caffeine, nicotine, in ample amounts. We're not perfect.
No.
All right. So in addition to the lip candy, I did generally have my keys on me because, you know, like how do you get places? Got a little tool on there because I do camera work and it's super nice to have to not pull out a screwdriver or my multi-tool every time. I also got a blue dangly because, you know, it's important to have something to remind you to conduct yourself in a righteous manner when you're struggling. Frustration's a thing. It's a good little physical touch piece for me. My TISM is visual and also sometimes physical. All right, in addition to that, I carry around some chapstick and some eye drops because I have allergies and my eyes just generally after staring at a computer screen in Adobe get dry. I got a light. As you can tell, it's brand new. It's never been carried. It's totally good to go, but it's a stream light. It's simple. It takes a AA. It's not super expensive. I love the stilettos. I had one. Southwest Airlines, thanks for not finding it. For the cost, it's super effective. I've carried that thing for at least 3+ years, probably 3 years around there. It does what it's supposed to do. I got Leatherman. I think this one's the bolster. Yeah, it says bolster on there. That helps. So it's tiny. It don't really use anything but the screwdriver or the 2 screwdrivers, Phillips and flathead, obviously. And then this guy, I use that a lot. Other than that, I don't really ever use the knife or the saw. Got a knife. It's a Gerber something or other. Nope, I'm lying. I'm not a knife guy. It's a little Sierra KT. It's nice. It's small. It's not super giant like the Kershaw with the Emerson Wave on it that I have. It's not giant, so it's not as much of a knife that's going to scare the muggles. It is what it is. Some people are not used to being around tools. All right, in addition to that, I do carry an ankle kit. Brian, I need some adult supervision. Will you help me? All right, so I found... Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's about as good a help as you can find.
I was a hand model in a previous life.
And I can't pay him because he's retired, so he's a volunteer, so he's super motivated to begin with. So I carry an ankle rig. I think it's important to have additional capability on you. And I don't always wear cargo pants. I'm a proper redneck, so I got a lot of pairs of Wranglers, and occasionally I will wear one of them. When I do, I have to figure out how I'm going to get the extra capability. Most of the time I'm carrying all of this, 2 tourniquets included, but scalability is important. Again, you got to figure out what works for you. And this has worked for me really well. It's been to 2 different SHOT Shows. It's been through Texas Summers. It's kind of had quite a wild ride. There's a few different components in there than what it's shipped with. But again, we're going to do that in a different video because we want to really cover the March algorithm and what you need to kind of cover the basics.
We'll also cover some of our response bags like you keep in the truck.
Yeah, that's a good off-body EDC segue. I didn't bring it because we got enough crap on the table anyway, but I do have an aid bag. It's got a bear fac in there. It's got some other components that I've just assembled based on knowing I'm going to need extra gloves, extra gauze, a couple extra ETDs as far as pressure dressings go. And it's something that, you know, if I came upon a wreck, I've come upon a couple and got out. Thankfully, didn't have to use anything because everyone was okay. But I have it just for the sake of, you know, I'm at church, I'd like to have it. I'm at work, I'd like to have it. We're not operator bros, so like most people are not going to be shooting at me. Hopefully nobody's ever shot at me, I'll be honest with you. I'm thankful for that. But we drive every day. You have a car, right? Okay, so in that sense, I just want to know that I am able to help people and I have the skills to do so.
So who made your ankle kit there?
So it's made by that John Lovell guy at Warrior Poet Society. And so it's not the only one out there on the market, but at the time when I bought this a couple years ago, it was the one that I shopped around and it seemed like it had the best option. There's a couple components in here that were straight garbage that did not make it onto my person. They pretty much went into the training bin. But again, nothing really comes perfectly set up. And
you never know. You might see some of these go head to head in another video.
Indeed. There's going to be some discussion on efficacy and, you know, just in general, like construction wise, the pockets, shape, size, all that goodness. It's a good topic to get into.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Get down in the comments and let us know what you think about what you carry versus what we carry. Can we improve? Can you improve?
I completely agree. I'd love to see what people are carrying in the comments, what your thoughts are on what we're carrying. Hopefully it helps you kind of figure out what can work for you, gives you at least some options. And in that way, I feel like we presented a couple options that hopefully you can figure out how to cater it to best to suit your needs, right? You should be running stuff and using stuff that works well for you and not what works well for whoever is trying to influence your purchasing decisions. And where can they find us?
You can find us at Spicy Snafu on Instagram. And of course, you're already here on YouTube. So get your reps in with your tourniquet.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please help us, support the shenanigans we're about to continue to do in this crazy project. And until next time,
Stay safe in all you do.
or stay spicy. Keep that thing on you.